You ever been in a place where everything around you says no, where the facts are stacked high against you and reasons telling you to quit? I'm talking about those moments where the world, even your own mind, seems to be screaming at you that what you want, what you're fighting for, is impossible. Let's talk about faith. Faith is not about living in denial of reality, it's about seeing beyond it. Faith says, I see the challenges, I see the mountain in front of me, but I'm not letting it define me or my future. Faith is about having the courage to move forward even when fear has you paralyzed, even when logic tries to back you into a corner. You see, fear is natural. Fear will always show up. It's an instinct part of our survival. But here's the thing, fear wasn't built to lead you. Fear is loud, yes, but it doesn't have depth. It doesn't have vision. Fear looks at the surface, at what's right in front of you, and screams at you to stop, to stay safe, to turn back. But faith is deeper. Faith looks beyond the present and sees the potential. Faith walks forward when there's no clear path. And when fear tries to take the wheel, faith whispers, not today. Fear thrives in uncertainty. It magnifies every reason why things won't work out, why you should quit, why you're not enough. But let me tell you something, fear may be loud, but faith is strong. Fear will tell you everything you can't do. Faith, though, faith shows you everything you can become. And the choice between the two, between fear and faith, is what will define your journey. When you move in faith, you're not denying that fear exists. No, you're acknowledging it, you see it, you hear it. But you refuse to let it control your steps. You choose to believe in something greater than what you feel in the moment. You choose to believe in what you can't yet see. And that's what faith is. It's a choice, a conscious decision to trust something beyond logic, beyond sight, beyond reason. Now, let me be real with you. It's not always easy. When fear is blaring in your ear, when reason tells you to quit, choosing faith can feel like walking a tightrope in the dark. But here's where the magic happens. The more you choose faith, the stronger it gets. Every time you act in faith, you quiet fear just a little more. Every time you push through doubt, you build a resilience that no amount of fear can shake. Think of it like this: fear is like a shadow. It only looks big because the light behind you is casting it. But faith is that light. When you turn toward it, the shadow fades. It's still there, but it's not in your way anymore. And that's what living with faith over fear is all about. It's about shifting your focus. Instead of staring at all the things that could go wrong, you focus on what's possible, what's waiting for you on the other side of the struggle. So the next time you feel fear creeping in, take a step back. Remind yourself that fear is not your leader. Fear is just a reminder that something great is on the other side. And when that moment comes, when fear tries to stop you, that's when you lean into faith the most. That's when you dig deep, stand tall, and say, I will not be moved. Because in the end, it's not about eliminating fear, it's about choosing faith. Again and again, you may feel afraid, but faith will keep you moving. And as long as you're moving, you're not defeated. So when the storm comes, stand firm. Let fear roar. And then, with faith as your guide, take that next step anyway. Vision. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. The people who live in a place of possibility from those who are bound by reality. Vision is that inner spark, that clear picture of a future you know you were meant to live, even when everything around you says it's impossible. Here's the thing about vision: it doesn't start with proof. It doesn't start with facts, and it doesn't start with a plan. Vision starts with belief. It's a seed planted in your heart that says, I'm made for something more. It might seem blurry at first, or maybe it's so bold that it scares you. But that vision is real. It's meant to guide you, push you, and stretch you beyond what you think is possible. The problem is, too many people don't follow their vision because they're waiting for the world to make it easy. They're waiting for someone to hand them a map or for all the stars to align perfectly. But vision doesn't work like that. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about moving in faith, trusting that as you go, the path will reveal itself. Your vision won't always make sense to the people around you. In fact, it might not even make sense to you at times. You'll have moments where doubt creeps in, where reason tries to tell you that you're chasing a fantasy. But let me tell you something, every great achievement in history started with someone who had a vision that others couldn't see, someone who dared to dream of something bigger than the limits placed on them. Visionaries don't wait for permission. They don't wait for understanding. They act. They take bold steps even when they're not sure what's coming next. That's the power of vision. It calls you to rise above the noise of doubt, to move forward when logic says to stand still. It pulls you toward your destiny, one courageous step at a time. Here's what's important to understand: your vision is your gift. It was given to you. Nobody else sees the world exactly like you do. Nobody else feels the pull you feel toward the life you're meant to live. That's why it's your responsibility to nurture that vision, to protect it, and to pursue it with everything you've got. It doesn't matter if others don't understand it. It doesn't matter if it feels too big or too far away. What matters is that you see it, and that's enough. The path won't always be clear. In fact, most of the time it won't be. You'll face obstacles, you'll encounter resistance. But vision is stronger than fear, stronger than doubt, stronger than any setback. Vision gives you the strength to push forward when you feel like giving up. It's the fire that keeps you going when everything around you says, turn back. And don't think for a second that vision alone will get you there. Vision without action is just a dream. You have to put in the work every single day. You have to show up for your vision, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Because vision demands consistency. It demands discipline. It demands sacrifice. But let me tell you, when you're aligned with your vision, that hard work doesn't feel like a burden. It feels like purpose. It feels like passion. So what do you do when the path is uncertain and the dream seems far away? You hold on to your vision. You keep moving forward one step at a time. You trust that what you're building will come together even if you can't see how yet. Because here's the truth, the world was built by people who had a vision. And it's not the size of the vision that matters, it's your commitment to it. Your willingness to pursue it relentlessly no matter the cost. So protect your vision. Nurture it. Let it guide you even when the path is unclear. Because the power of vision isn't just in what you see. It's in what you're willing to do to make it a reality. We've all been there standing in the face of adversity, wondering if we've got what it takes to keep moving forward. Life has a way of throwing obstacles in our path, just when we think we've got it all figured out. But here's the truth, those challenges aren't there to stop you. They're there to prepare you. They're stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. And how you choose to face them will define the direction of your journey. Challenges have a way of revealing who you are. When everything is going smoothly, it's easy to think you've got it all under control. But it's in those hard moments when life tests your strength, your patience, your resilience, that your true character is shaped. The question is, are you going to let those obstacles break you down, or are you going to use them as fuel to lift yourself higher? Every setback, every failure, every moment of doubt is an opportunity in disguise. But it's up to you to see it that way. You see, challenges are not the enemy. They are teachers. They show you where you need to grow. They push you to become stronger, smarter, more disciplined. And every time you face a challenge head on, you're taking one more step toward becoming the person you're meant to be. Think of it like climbing a mountain. Each obstacle you encounter on that climb, whether it's a steep slope, a sudden storm, or rocky terrain, forces you to adjust, to recalibrate. You might have to slow down. You might even have to stop for a moment to catch your breath. But every step you take, every small victory brings you closer to the summit. And when you finally reach the top, it won't be in spite of the challenges, it'll be because of them. Because those challenges made you stronger. They sharpened your skills. They prepared you for the success you're working toward. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Facing challenges can feel overwhelming. There will be days when you question whether it's all worth it, when you feel like giving up. But let me tell you something, it's in those moments of doubt that your breakthrough is just around the corner. The bigger the challenge, the bigger the reward on the other side. You have to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers, start seeing them as stepping stones, each one bringing you closer to your goal. Each challenge is an opportunity to learn something new, to grow in ways you never imagined. And sometimes the hardest challenges are the ones that teach you the most important lessons. Maybe it's a failure that humbles you, makes you realize that you can't do it all alone, that you need to ask for help. Maybe it's a rejection that forces you to refine your approach, to dig deeper into what you really want. Or maybe it's a setback that gives you the space to reimagine your vision, to come back even stronger and more focused. One thing is certain: if you're willing to embrace your challenges, they will transform you. They will push you beyond your comfort zone, beyond what you thought was possible. And once you overcome them, you'll look back and realize they were never there to stop you. They were there to build you. The road to success isn't a straight line. It's filled with twists and turns, with highs and lows. But if you can see the challenges for what they really are, stepping stones on the path to your greatness, then there's nothing that can stop you. Each challenge is. Time life throws a challenge your way. Don't shrink from it. Don't let it defeat you. Step up to it. Use it. And remember, the more challenges you face, the stronger you become, the higher you rise. It's not the challenges that define you, it's how you choose to respond to them. And when you see those challenges as stepping stones, there's no limit to how far you can go. Keep climbing, keep pushing, and one day you'll realize that every challenge you faced was preparing you for the greatness that was already within you. There's a voice inside you that speaks louder than any outside noise, but the world doesn't always teach us to listen to it. In a society that prioritizes logic, facts, and evidence, we often overlook one of the most powerful tools we possess: our intuition. It's that quiet, inner knowing, that gut feeling that tells you something is right or wrong, even when there's no concrete reason to believe it. Learning to harness that intuition is one of the most transformative things you can do for yourself. It's about trusting something beyond the mind's rationality, something deeper, something personal. Loud, but it's always present. It's that feeling that nudges you in a certain direction, the one that says, this is the way, even when it doesn't make sense on paper. Think about all the times you made a decision, not because it was logical, but because something inside you told you it was right. Maybe you took a leap of faith on a new job, moved to a different city, or trusted someone who others might have doubted. Those decisions didn't come from analysis, they came from intuition. One of the greatest challenges people face is learning to trust that inner voice. The world will tell you to follow logic, to listen to reason, to weigh every pro and con. And yes, those are important tools, but they can't be the only ones. The mind calculates what it knows, but intuition, it speaks to what it feels. It draws from something deeper, something connected to your experiences, your emotions, and even your spirituality. Intuition sees beyond the surface and taps into the truth of a situation, even when it's not immediately obvious. The power of intuition lies in its ability to cut through the noise. When faced with a difficult decision, the world will bombard you with advice, statistics, and opinions. Everyone will have something to say, and that can leave you confused, overwhelmed, and paralyzed by indecision. But if you can silence all of that, even for just a moment, and tune into that quiet voice within, you'll find clarity. How do you harness intuition? First, you have to trust it. That's the hardest part. The more you trust your gut, the stronger it becomes. It's like a muscle. If you use it, it grows. If you ignore it, it weakens. Start with small decisions and see where it leads you. Over time, you'll begin to recognize the difference between the voice of intuition and the voice of fear or doubt. Fear is loud, anxious, and often urgent. Intuition, on the other hand, is calm, steady, and persistent. It doesn't shout, but it's always there, guiding you toward what's right for you. Next, you need to create space for it. We live in a world that's constantly busy, constantly moving. But intuition thrives in stillness. It's in those quiet moments, whether it's through meditation, reflection, or even a long walk, that your inner voice becomes clearer. When you give yourself time to slow down and listen, you open the door for intuition to speak to you. Intuition also requires you to be in tune with your emotions. It's not just a gut feeling, it's an emotional compass that aligns with your deepest desires and fears. When something feels off, it usually is. Pay attention to how situations, people, or decisions make you feel. If something feels wrong, it probably is, no matter how right it may seem logically. Conversely, when something feels right, even if it's unexpected or challenging, That's your intuition encouraging you to move forward. Finally, surround yourself with people who understand and respect intuition. The people you spend time with can either amplify that voice inside you or drown it out. Seek out those who trust their own intuition and will encourage you to trust yours. They may not always agree with your decisions, but they will respect the process of you listening to your inner truth. Learning to harness intuition doesn't mean abandoning logic or reason, it means balancing them. It's about realizing that not everything in life can be measured or calculated. Some of the most important decisions you'll ever make will come from a place that no spreadsheet or fact sheet can touch. Time you're faced with a choice, a challenge, or a crossroad, don't rush into what seems logical. Take a moment, breathe, listen to that quiet, persistent voice within. Trust that it knows something you don't yet understand. Because the power of intuition isn't just in the guidance it gives, it's in the courage it takes to follow it. And remember, this intuition will never lead you astray if you're willing to listen. Trust that inner voice and watch as it leads you toward the life you were meant to live. We've all heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, whether or not you agree with the exact number. There's no denying that the people around you have a significant impact on your life. That's why it's essential to surround yourself with believers, people who not only believe in themselves, but also believe in you and your vision, even when you have doubts. The road to success, personal growth, or any big goal is rarely smooth. There will be times when you're filled with uncertainty, when fear and self-doubt creep in and make you question your path. In those moments, it's easy to give up if you don't have the right support. That's where your circle comes in. The people around you can either uplift you or pull you down. They can either feed your ambition or drain your energy. The key is to be intentional about who you allow into your inner circle. When you surround yourself with believers, they act as a mirror to your potential. They see greatness in you even when you can't see it in yourself. They'll remind you of your strengths when all you can think about are your weaknesses. In those moments when you feel like giving up, they'll be the ones encouraging you to push forward, to stay the course, and to trust the process. Believers don't let you settle for mediocrity. They challenge you to rise above your circumstances and keep striving for your best. But here's the thing, it's not just about surrounding yourself with people who say nice things or offer blind encouragement. True believers hold you accountable. They won't just tell you what you want to hear, they'll tell you what you need to hear. They'll call you out when you're slacking, remind you of your goals when you get distracted, and push you to be better than you were yesterday. That's real support. They believe in your vision because they know you have the potential to achieve it, and they're not afraid to challenge you to grow. At the same time, surrounding yourself with believers doesn't mean everyone in your circle has to share the exact same dream or goal. What matters is that they share the same mindset. You want people who understand the value of hard work, resilience, and persistence. You want people who believe in the power of possibility, who see obstacles not as dead ends, but as stepping stones to something greater. When you have people like that around you, their energy becomes contagious. You start to absorb their positivity, their drive, their unwavering belief in what's possible. And here's the flip side, you have to be a believer for others too. It's not just about finding people who support you, it's about building relationships where belief flows both ways. Encourage the people in your life. Believe in their dreams as much as they believe in yours. When you lift others up, you create an environment where everyone is growing, pushing each other, and moving forward together. But what do you do if the people around you aren't believers? If they're constantly doubting you, questioning your dreams, or even pulling you down, it might be time to reevaluate those relationships. That doesn't mean cutting everyone off or burning bridges, but it does mean being intentional about where you invest your time and energy. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your journey. Some people are meant to play supporting roles from a distance. Sometimes it's not just about eliminating toxic relationships, but about actively seeking out new ones. Join communities of like-minded individuals. Find mentors who have walked the path before you. Connect with people who are as hungry for growth and success as you are. Whether it's in your career, personal life, or passion projects, surrounding yourself with believers can be the difference between success and stagnation. When you're surrounded by believers, you create a collective momentum. You're no longer pushing forward alone. You have a support system that's rooting for you, holding you accountable, and helping you stay focused. Together, you become unstoppable. So if you want to rise higher, surround yourself with people who lift you up, people who believe in your potential, who challenge you to grow, and who will walk with you through the highs and the lows. In the end, you'll realize that your success isn't just yours. It's a shared victory built on the foundation of mutual belief and support. And remember this, the journey to your dreams is long, but it's a lot more fulfilling when you're surrounded by people who believe in the destination just as much as you do. With believers by your side, there's no limit to how far you can go. Success doesn't happen overnight. We hear it all the time. But deep down, many of us still hope for shortcuts, quick wins, and instant results. The truth is, anything worth achieving in life comes from one thing: commitment to the process. It's the dedication to showing up, putting in the work, and trusting the journey, even when you don't see immediate rewards. Commitment to the process means falling in love with the grind, the day-to-day efforts that don't get headlines or applause. It's about embracing the small, often unglamorous steps that, over time, lead to something great. Anyone can get excited about a new goal, a new project, or a new opportunity. The real challenge comes in staying committed long after the excitement wears off. There's a reason why so many people start something with passion and enthusiasm but fail to finish. When the road gets tough, when the progress seems slow, or when the results aren't visible, it's easy to quit. But the process is where the magic happens. It's where you build the habits, the resilience, and the discipline that will eventually carry you to success. Let's be real, there will be days when the process feels frustrating. You'll question whether your hard work is even making a difference. You'll wonder if the sacrifices are worth it. But commitment to the process is about showing up on those days, especially when it's hard. It's about keeping the faith when there's no visible progress. Every great achievement is the result of hundreds, even thousands, of small steps that nobody saw but you. Here's what most people get wrong. They think commitment is about willpower, about forcing yourself to do something even when you don't want to. But true commitment to the process comes from understanding why you're doing it. When you're clear about your purpose, when you're deeply connected to the reason behind your goal, the process becomes less about drudgery and more about progress. It becomes a pathway, not a punishment. Think of athletes preparing for a championship. The game day is exciting, but it's the weeks, months, or even years of training that prepare them for that moment. It's the countless hours in the gym, the early morning practices, the discipline in their diet, and the relentless focus on improvement. Most people don't see that part, but that's where the victory is won. The process is what separates the good from the great, the dreamers from the achievers. The same applies to any area of life, whether you're building a business, pursuing a career, developing a skill, or working on personal growth. It's not just about reaching the destination, it's about becoming the kind of person who is capable of getting there. The process changes you. It refines you. It molds you into someone who can handle the success when it finally arrives. But here's the catch: if you're only focused on the end result, you'll get discouraged when things don't happen as fast as you'd like. That's why you have to learn to appreciate the process for what it is: a journey of growth. Every setback is a lesson. Every challenge is an opportunity to get better. Every slow day is a reminder that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Committing to the process also means being patient. Patience is often overlooked, but it's essential. You can't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. The process requires time. It requires trust that the work you're putting in will pay off, even if the payoff isn't immediate. Patience doesn't mean being passive. It means staying active in your pursuit while allowing the process to unfold at its own pace. So how do you stay committed to the process when the going gets tough? First, remember your why. Keep your eyes on the bigger picture, but stay grounded in the present work. Second, celebrate the small wins. Every step forward, no matter how minor, is a step closer to where you want to be. And third, surround yourself with people who believe in your journey. Having the right support system can keep you motivated when you're tempted to quit. Commitment to the process is what separates those who dream from those who do. It's not the flash, the quick wins, or the instant success stories that make the difference. It's the consistent, steady dedication to putting in the work day after day. And when you do that, success is not a matter of if, but when. So stay committed. Trust the process, because the journey you're on is shaping you for the success that's waiting on the other side. Keep moving, keep growing, and one day you'll look back and realize that the process was the greatest reward of all. Success is never just about the destination, it's about the journey. The road you walk, the challenges you face, and the small, steady steps you take each day are what shape you into the person capable of reaching your goals. When you commit to the process, embrace the grind, and surround yourself with believers, you'll find that every obstacle becomes a stepping stone and every setback a lesson. Remember, growth doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, perseverance, and most importantly, faith in the journey. Trust the process, stay focused, and keep pushing forward, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Thank you for your time, and may you always stay committed to the path that leads to your greatness.